And here we go, going live again. You might say, how many C2E2 previews and recaps are going to happen on this channel? Well, for right now, we just got one more for sure. Now, I say that because I wanted to zero in on, from the comic convention, the actual comic creators that we got to meet and interact with in around Artist Alley and the other sections. So I decided to go in chronological order of the comic creators as I discovered them in life. So going back to 1980, going back to my fourth grade year, when I started to follow the X-Men. I have sat in on panels, I have watched online interviews, but never before did I get the actual signature of one Chris Claremont. And so, as of this past C2E2, there it is. I want to come over here and again show you. He was he was a kindly chap. It was an in and out. It was a cool interaction to be able to say to him just that, what I just said just now. Back in fourth grade in 1980 was the first time I started to follow the X-Men books. And by good fortune, since I didn't really come prepped into the convention with stuff to sign or merchandise or gear, that they had these prints available. And again, we're talking issue 141. Man, that brings back the memories. Just as I said, 1980 right there, back at the time when you would see the faces in the top corner of the comic. And this is one of the most legendary John Byrne drawn and created X-Men covers into the Days of Future Past storyline. What a shocking attention getter that was, to see people listed as apprehended or slain. But let me tell you again, as a young guy, Chris Claremont on the writing, and either Dave Cockrum or John Byrne, or then later on Paul Smith and others. Boy, oh boy, that was some amazing stuff. So I'm again super excited that I was able to have an interaction with Chris Claremont and be able to get his signature. Now, as a bonus, it so happened I was wearing the custom Thunderbird shirt as designed by Junkyard, or as put together by Junkyard off of the Dave Cockrum Classic design. So a little extra cool moment that Mr. Claremont would say, nice shirt, or I like your shirt, or however he said it. That was pretty cool. Okay, so we've covered Claremont there. I mean, I could never cover all the influences and all the significance. It would take a long time because 1980 is a long time ago. But in short order form, uh, blown away that I got to finally, uh, after multiple decades, get to be face to face with Chris Claremont. So that was cool. As I was saying, in chronological order of these three artists, I should say we're featuring Chris Claremont, Todd Nauck, and Christopher Jones. So might as well stay in the X-Men verse. Getting zero in here on the 90s look, late, well, no, mid 80s, I should say, mid 80s Magneto. Definitely more of a 90s and cartoon X-Men 97 influence Storm and Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, Rogue, Gambit. Uh, Boy, all of them. So yeah, this is definitely X-Men 97 based here, and super cool again to be able to interact with Todd at the convention. This is number 16 out of 300. Again, I've been invested in Todd's art style since I discovered him on the Young Justice books. And as I have mentioned, and I will keep mentioning, Peter David currently has the GoFundMe available. Peter David had been a longtime writer on the Hulk, longtime writer on Young Justice, had contributed significantly for a good amount of time to the X Factor books as well. So if somebody had the opportunity to donate, as Todd himself said at the convention, just even $10 would be really helpful here and there towards Peter David's medical expenses. But again, in chronological order, having met Chris Claremont and sticking on an X-Men theme here, having been able to meet Todd Nauck at this time. Todd's a good guy. I didn't realize we were so close in age because I never really Googled him before or looked him up before. But man, oh man, it was cool to have met him. Now, steering out of X-Men country, had met Chris Jones before at the convention last year. Picked up this print from him this time. We're on the DC side of a classic Justice League animated Bruce Timm style, Bruce Timm approximating. Again, this one goes back to 2015 October, so this is coming on 10 years ago, where Mr. Jones put together, and again, just real great penciling, real great composition. It's not necessarily storytelling because it's like a cover, because it's a still print, but this is just good stuff here to be able to have a 3-for-3 experience. Chris Claremont, Todd Nauck, and Christopher Jones. And of course, also, he was having a busy 2015 there, says April 2015, when he put together the Svengoolie portrait, which is definitely something I've had around here for a good amount of time now. I see Fanboy Cantina in the comment section. Let me see if I can scroll here as we're doing. I can't even see the comment because I'm working off of the. Oh, it says, yo, nice one. Okay, yeah, absolutely a nice one. So in addition to meeting these big three talents here, also non-comic artist stuff, what we had going on. I was able to stop by the Jellicoe booth, and let me say, I don't even know what this material is exactly. It's not a plywood, it's not a cardboard, but Jellicoe booth is, I'm not sure if Sven is supposed to have white or green hue. Well, okay, yeah, and it depends on the lighting. So let me come back to it. I was thinking green. I was thinking Basil Gogos, but that's the thing. It depends on the lighting. You get a little bit of white in there as well. And I should have brought the pictures. I didn't. We'll save it for this coming Saturday when I'm doing a Svengoolie specific recap to cover Svengoolie's time at the convention. But absolutely, we'll get into how I try to replicate with actual makeup as actual cosplay this exact Christopher Jones style image. And absolutely, Chai-Star G did some Photoshop reworking, smooth. Anyway, I'll save all that for this coming Saturday, absolutely. But coming back to Jellicoe, again, Jellicoe, it's cute creepiness for people who are into this. Absolutely, it's good to check out. Jellicoe says right there, some assembly required. Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, with a little couple stitches on the heart. Um, Again, just recapping some of the other stuff we did. The Saturn sisters put together a whole great variety of really good stuff, including that Universal Monster shot right there. And Dave Pryor, who is also new to us, put together this really good Superdog print. And so, who knows, maybe in the future we'll have a Saturn Sisters or a Dave Pryor come around here and talk about how cool their art is. Rather, I think it can go either way. Let me tell you, Fanboy, I appreciate the comments, but as I'm working off of the phone here, it is super hard to scroll past the sidebars to actually see your comments. And anyway, okay, we're coming on 9 minutes. We're here on a Thursday night. Last night, Fanboy and I just did a Daredevil review. Feel free to check that out. Feel free to come back around here again on Saturday when we're going to get into a full story of Svengoolie content that Nanette and I will be conversing about. That as a heads up for that. I tried to replicate the Norman Rockwell Nighthawks using the Figures Toy Company and Mego figures, using the background equipment, compliments of J-Spy, using the front bar equipment here, compliments of Paul from Laser Mego, not Astro, Laser Mego. So we'll be getting into all of that this coming Saturday. But how cool it was to hit a trifecta of Chris Claremont, Todd Nauck, Christopher Jones.
Again, Peter David's GoFundMe is open for people who had a little extra money on the side, $10 or what have you. It'd be great to donate to Peter David. I'm closing us out for this time. We'll be back again Saturday. We'll be back plenty. Thanks, everybody, and we are out.